Okay, as you can see from the war log, we lost our last two, won the one before that. 4 wars ago, Spartan Reunited was the cheat war. They were using the modding hack. After that, things were pretty much back to normal. We won by 3, lost by 1, lost by 2. So those are all reasonable outcomes. And that 53-50 win, it was like really everything went our way at the end. And then in the 2 losses, there were just a couple of really close fights that didn't go our way, and a couple that did go the other guy's way. So let me dial up that war and take a look at it. So um, as you can see, they got 2 stars on all of our 10s and 3 stars on our top 9, which didn't help a whole lot. Uh, that was it. And Ayaki was actually the one getting 3 on him. Pretty much put the war away from him. So they did really well on our 9s. They 3-starred half our 9s and got 2 on half our 10s. With us, we missed one of their 10s and didn't do quite as well getting their 9s to 3 stars. We did all right, but we only got 2 of them. Reaver tried late in the war to get this one, only got 93%, but by that time the war was over. Biddy did all right here. He got um, 2 stars on the top 2, so that was reasonable. He was playing with his king down, so not a surprise there. But what actually kept us in the war near the end was Lappin. So I'll go ahead and show his replays. So here he's running hogs, trips the CC, horse gets him out there, poison, kills him, and then normally you want to get those things done in full. And he did a pretty good job dispatching it. In fact, as you can see, time was never a problem on this. Very straightforward run with hogs 4. We'd hit this base before, so he knew where things were. And that was the second one. And let me see. His first one was here on 9, and he had a different attack built here. Go wipe, and this is actually a fairly difficult base for a golem-based attack. So it was a good job getting the clean on this one. Before he was starting to attack, I looked around and thought, geez, if he just got one of these 2 8s, we'd have a shot in this war. Wouldn't have to drop down as many 9s. And sure enough, he ended up and got 2 of those. As you can see, there wasn't a whole lot left at the end, but it was plenty. But yeah, that was kind of near the end of what he could pull off there. Ayaki Akuma, so he got 11 of possible 12 stars here. So here you are running drags, and he comes in broadside to the 3 air defenses. Actually runs into the air sweeper, but it was a sensible approach there. It wasn't a overly upgraded air sweeper. When you're coming at a broad line like that, the width of the air sweeper isn't that significant that most of your drags are going to keep on going. So even there running at 1 TH8, that wasn't a problem. Running TH8 with 1 sweeper, it wasn't a problem. And let's see who else. Yeah, so we showed that one. I cleaned up something really low down here. But we did need the help. Our number 20 player wasn't in. So yeah, Billsy got the bottom 2. Pretty straightforward cities there, I think. Yeah. We had Jendai, and he didn't attack at all. As usual, we just use him for stuffing. Turk got that one. I think he missed his own. He usually gets 2, 3 stars. Elcoat's kind of he's a 9 that's mixed in with the 8, so not a highly upgraded 9. Got this one. Beast got this one. I showed you that one. The Coma got. E-Man, another 9, dropped down to clean this one up. So you saw we had a lot of cleaning. So Hilly dropped down and got this 8. So a lot of our 9s were dropping down to clean up 8s. And we were still questionable at the end whether we were going to get all of the 8s. So we did finally get them near the end. And so here's Ayaki. This was one of the TH9s that went to 3-star. So running drags 4. I think there's only one air sweeper active on this one, and it doesn't look like it has crossbows. So really, this is more like an 8.5. These cleaning with drag. Other than that, there is a crossbow. It's in ground mode. They're both. It's a terrible design. It's really kind of amazing how solid some of their defenses were. And how solid their best players were, and then how lumpy some of the other ones were. So that was just an absolutely horrible war base. It's like they had their farm base in the war mode. And then Reaver came in and got this. And he 0-starred his first attack against the TH10 ran drags, which is very rare that the drags go 0-star. Yeah, just overall not a great war here for many of our guys. And Reaver was one, but this is how you beat this base. Pretty straightforward. Didn't take a whole lot of time. You send your main thrust up the middle, 2 jump spells, and then have another golem drag running around the out, or another golem, and kind of clean up crew running the outside. So it's a very straightforward attack. And then, yeah, with Swan here, he tried to get this one. Really kind of an odd base. And it did what it was supposed to do. This base is designed to get the golems stuck, and they did get stuck. So it was that. And, he got 93%. But this is one where, looking back on it, probably you'd have wanted to build like maybe 10 or 12 wall breakers for this type of a city just to get things through. But by the time he hit this, the war was over. We couldn't do it. So he just threw his normal farm load at it. And then here's Biddy. He got got both of these. As you can see on that one, really heavily jammed in the middle. And he was playing without his BK, but he was able to get in there and get those. And then this was another one. Swan only got 49% on this one. And this was kind of where their defenses were a bit of a problem for us. There really wasn't any place where you could pick up that last 1%. So he did run through, got the town hall, got things cleared up, and was sitting there at 48%. Golems were still alive. As soon as the golems break through, he sends in another wizard to pick that up. The wizard gets whacked. And now, if you look, there really wasn't any place he could have dropped his archers to pick up that last 1%. Because basically, everything was covered. He might, if he'd had a minion, dropped it around 8:30, might have picked that up. But with 3 archers, no way he was going to do that. And then this was mine. I just got 50%, was just able to pick it up. This was so this is one that Reaver 0-starred the first time. He ran a good attack on it. This was actually very much a Reaver-style attack. So Reaver runs this attack ground a lot, where he sends just enough into the middle to get the town hall. Then he has another crew just kind of running around the outside, picking things up. So there was the queen, a P.E.K.K.A., a witch, a couple of wizards, and that turned out to be just enough. So there's a 48%, and then has a couple of archers left. And this guy did not have the coverage outside. As you can see, the archer towers are a little bit more inboard in this corner, so I was able to get in there and clean that up. And then City number one, which was an embarrassment. I forgot to request CC troops on this. So, stuff happens. The lesson I would give people from this one is when you screw up, don't panic. Just keep going with the attack, which is what I did. But I recognized, that for whatever reason, this is a midweek war. I mean, that's not an excuse, but you're attacking at work, and every now and then, just not 100% there, and that was the case there. This attack I did at night. That's right. Yeah. I was thinking about going out for a beer. I decided I'll go ahead and do the attack first, and should have gotten the beer and requested CC troops, but got there. So anyway, never fun to lose them. But as I said, the last three wars, no cheating of any type by the opponent. Actually, these guys tried to send a scout over. Their number 4 player tried to join us right after the beginning of the war, which is actually good news because we knew they weren't using the modding cheat at that point. And so if they were going to beat us, they were going to have to beat us straight up, and they did. So nice job there, guys. And we'll be back next war. Ayaki has another account that he's just added. It's a TH8 with virtually no defenses. We think that's going to come in at like a TH5. So that's pretty extreme clan engineering, and should help us a little bit in our cleaning, because we really did have to drop down a lot of 9s to clean up the 8s in this war. All right, good war, and back at it. Call another war in another day.